The Liberal leader touched on Seoul-Tokyo ties as well, with a focus on several outstanding issues. Moon also outlined his stance on the constitutional revision plan for next year, as well as phasing out nuclear power. Here's Hwang Hojun with the details.
During the hour-long press conference, President Moon insisted that Japan's sexual enslavement of Korean women during World War II is an issue that prior agreements have never resolved. He also brought up the Supreme Court's ruling on the issue of thousands of Koreans forced into labor during the war, which established that past agreements between the two nations do not abrogate the individual victim's right to seek compensation from their former Japanese employers. President Moon emphasized, however, that issues of history should not hinder efforts by the two countries to build a constructive relationship.
다만 제가 강조하고 있는 것은 그런 과거사 문제가 한일 관계의 미래지향적인 발전에 걸림돌이 돼서는 안 되겠다. 그래서 과거사 문제는 과거사 문제대로 또 미래지향적인 발전을 위한 한일 간의 협력은 그 협력대로 별개로 해나가는 것이 필요하다 이렇게 생각합니다.
Regarding the plan to hold a referendum next June alongside local elections to revise the constitution, President Moon reaffirmed that he will keep his promise to strengthen regional autonomy and the fundamental rights of the people, but also stressed the need for more discussions on how to revamp the current government structure. At the end of the press conference, President Moon was asked about his policy of weaning South Korea off of nuclear energy. The president reaffirmed that policy, but said it will happen gradually, clarifying that his plan is to shut down nuclear reactors as each one fulfills its planned lifespan.
그 시간 동안 원전이 서서히 하나씩 줄어 나가고 또 그에 대해서 LNG라든지 신재생 에너지를 비롯한 대체 에너지원을 마련해 나가는 것은 조금도 어려운 일이 아닙니다. 그리고 그것이 무슨 전기 요금의 아주 대폭적인 상승을 불어일으키는 그런 일도 아닙니다.
More than 200 reporters from Korea and abroad attended Thursday's historic press conference, along with the president's top aides. It was the first of its kind under the Moon administration, with no prepared set of questions, but a spontaneous Q&A session between the president and the media, even small jokes being made here and there, inducing chuckles from both sides. Questions still linger due to the time constraints of the format, but the press conference was still a key moment for the young administration, showing the president's determination to better communicate with the people. Hwang Hojun, Arirang News.